From WREL News and the Capital Broadcasting Podcast Network, this is your Coronavirus, North Carolina News Brief for Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. I'm Cliff Baumgardner. Here's the latest from WREL.com. Coronavirus outbreaks have been reported at 4 produce farms across North Carolina, including 2 in the Triangle. The State Department of Health and Human Services lists 14 infections at Porter Farms Produce in Wake County and 19 at Harrington and Sons Farms near Sanford. Porter Farms manager Charity Morris said 14 migrant workers who live on farm property and help harvest strawberries and other produce at the farm's 2 locations, one on 1010 Road south of Raleigh and one on NC Highway 42 in Willow Springs, have tested positive for the virus beginning on April 20th and were isolated for 2 weeks. The workers are now back in the fields. Morris added that, quote, "These workers were obviously out in the field and never had any contact with customers up at the stands. Anytime they were at work, they were always wearing masks and gloves," end quote. She went on to say Porter Farms acted very swiftly to isolate the workers. While the workers were isolated, the farm shifted away from selling strawberries that were already picked and allowing more customers to pick their own, according to a statement issued by Porter Farms. Hand washing stations were added. Hand sanitizer had been made available to customers, and high-contact surfaces are disinfected several times a day. Morris said food safety specialists at North Carolina State University have told Porter Farms that their produce is safe to sell and eat, as coronavirus isn't a foodborne pathogen. The North Carolina Democratic Party will hold its state convention online next month rather than in person, in keeping with social distancing rules during the coronavirus pandemic. The virtual convention is set for June 6th and will feature appearances by statewide candidates and other special guests. Convention business includes picking at-large and elected officials who will serve as Democratic National Convention delegates and on the party's slate of presidential electors. The state Republican Party had planned to hold its convention in Greenville this weekend, but it's been pushed back to July. Both state parties have been holding local activities online in recent weeks. The state Democratic Party's district conventions were slated to be held virtually on Wednesday. State Democratic Party Executive Director Meredith Como says the digital platform for the state convention gives party leaders the chance to create innovative ways to energize all party members headed into the fall. Cape Hatteras National Seashore, the Fort Raleigh National Historic Site, and the Wright Brothers National Memorial will be increasing recreational opportunities on May 22nd, officials said today. Public restrooms will reopen, and a limited amount of camping will be allowed at Cape Hatteras. Lifeguard services at Coquina Beach, Cape Hatteras Lighthouse Beach, Frisco Beach, and Ocracoke Beach will resume on May 23rd. The Cape Hatteras and Bodie Island lighthouses remain closed, as do visitor centers at Avon Pier, the Lost Colony at Fort Raleigh, and Ocracoke Island boat slips. Lastly, if you've noticed your grocery bill getting higher recently, you're not alone. The U.S. Department of Labor is reporting the highest grocery spike in April since the 1970s. Overall, it says grocery prices are up 2.6%. Fresh and dry items like cereal, eggs, meat, poultry, and bakery items all cost more, according to CNN, and experts say it's a direct impact of higher costs for finding freight to ship goods and meat plants dealing with COVID-19 outbreaks. This has been your Coronavirus, North Carolina News Brief for Wednesday, May 13th, 2020. As always, if you like the information and resources you get from this show, let us know by leaving a rating and review on whatever podcast app you use. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our new episodes. Thanks for listening.